Julia, can you hear me? Okay, welcome to the match between Veronique and Julia. You join. It's an exciting match in that it's UK women versus French women, and it's tied at 5-all up to 8. So there's 5 matches remaining. So this is a very important one to in the aim to get to 8. So let me just get my bearings. We've got Julia as black and we've got Veronique as white. Okay, so let's hope for a good match. Obviously, I know Julia very well, and one of my favourite people in the backgammon community. So I'm obviously trying not to be too biased when I'm talking, but we will see how we go. So Veronique hits, and it could turn into a blotting contest now. It's starting to. So rather than being a simple, oh, here we go though, and a nice double 5 to get some things going. Now, this is the kind of position, especially early on in a match, where you should be doubling, whether it's technically right or not. You find out what your opponent's made of, and show that you're not scared. And you can easily get drops in those kind of positions, and it can even be technically right. So, but practically, it's certainly a double. Not so much now, though. It's really That's a really difficult decision between playing nicely or putting 2 checkers on the bar. And it's too tough for me, if I'm honest. Depends how I'm feeling. So Veronique's thinking the right things, realizing how difficult it is, and taking her time. I'm afraid I can't guide you any more than that. I would tend to the safe long-term play like that, and she has made that. So well played. Well played for thinking like me, but whether that's correct or not, I can't confirm. Okay. Well, no, that's damaging the advantages you made earlier with your play. So we don't want to be doing that. We want to keep the 4 prime because it's so strong, even at the cost of ruining other parts of our game. And again, Veronique's played well. Julia's got her work cut out here, a really tough match. Veronique absolutely knows how to play backgammon. There's no question about that, as does Julia. It's going to be a very good game with 2 people with deep understanding of backgammon. So let's see how Julia copes. She's learned so much, Julia, by going to BMAB. I remember the time when she was extremely timid with the cube, and that was a weakness in her game. But by going to BMAB and learning her weaknesses, she's really improved and is one of the fastest, as far as I'm concerned, one of the fastest improving backgammon players in UK at the moment. And Julia's showing that the timid Julia is certainly a thing of the past. I do think that's better though, just increasing your position, just slightly improving your position. She's got to even look at 21 to 11 here, because black, but before. Yeah, that's right. Yep. At last, a simple play for Veronique has been very tough for her so far. So now let's look at the race. Where are we? Oh, Julia's got a big lead in the race. So she actually has to, at some point, decide at which point she's going to come off that anchor. These are tough. In fact, I've been talking to my friend Mike Levi, who has got a database of all kinds of positions, and saying how much I struggle with coming at what point to come off the anchor with a race lead in mutual holding games. And this is a great example. So I'll be looking back at when the right time for Julia would have been. It's a very difficult decision. Now, don't even think what you've got to hit now, Julia. Yeah, well played. She's she's the one. Come on, Julia. He says in his neutral role as commentator. Come on, Julia. No, nothing complicated here. Just do the natural move. Again, good play. I think this is excellent standard from both players. Oh no, it's too good a point. One of the best roles, and it takes something great to beat it, is pointing on somebody's head. It is all when you can do it. It's almost always the correct move. Now, if the race was a bit closer, Veronique would have a powerful double there, but this it's too early yet. Veronique's looking at all the right kind of ideas and the right plays. You see, one of the attractions of playing such a big player that she's just played is that if Julia dances, which happens a quarter of the time, she has a strong double. So I actually would have played the big play, and now if she had played the huge play, Julia would be having a difficult take drop decision. So always remember, when you've got a 3-point board and you hit, a quarter of the time your opponent's going to dance. Oh, we've got a problem. Julia, can you hear me? Julia, can you hear me? I can hear you, which is maybe a problem. Please confirm you can't hear me, because I could be giving you. She can't. Good. That was a relief. I can hear Julia slightly in the background. Okay. Right now, Julia's got to think of a strong double now. No. It's just, in fact, it's so strong. I think it's a pass. No. You mustn't double when you've won. You've got to double when you've got threats. Now this is such an easy drop. It might even be too good. So sadly, Julia's got slightly, like when I was praising her so much for being aggressive with the cube, much more aggressive. I've learned from when the pressure's on. She's it's very tough to do, and we all revert to form, and it's getting just be aggressive in backgammon. That's the way to be. And Julia is playing so well recently. She needs to still remain aggressive with the cube in this match. Oh, I've lost the screen. This unfortunately is going to play itself because there won't be any fives left to play. Well, you don't want to dump one on the 3. There's more chance of using it on the 6 point than when it's on the 3 point. So it's slightly less likely to be used there than it is on the 6 point. It's not a slight inaccuracy there, but nothing major. Oh, great. So that's a nice roll for Julia. He says in his neutral commentating position. Now, there's nothing wrong. Now, these second twos, now it would have been much better to play 13-11 twice, because you haven't lost anything by changing the midpoint to the 11 point. So you can afford to make that play. and without leaving any blots, and without no, it'll be interesting to see Veronique, because if anything, there's no sequences where Julia will have a take next turn, so she's too good here, so she should just play on and see what happens. If Julia rolls well, Veronique will still be able to double out next time, and that's one of the biggest things to consider when you're deciding whether you're too good or not. So if we look at a bad sequence like 5-4 for white, it's a simple drop. So come on, Julia, you must drop. Well played. Well played. Great play by both players. Both slightly cautious with the cube, but the checker player is absolutely bob on. Tremendous standard. Both countries should be proud. Right, when you see a position like this, you have to. Julia's got the right idea. Whatever you do, you have to activate the back checkers. It could end quickly, but you cannot risk just leaving those. You've got to take your punishment. It's just too much. She has to. In fact, if Julia played this, I would actually be doubling because the best. And great double there for Veronique, and a tough decision. I would probably let this one go with my opponent having a 3-point board and me having 2 blocks that could be hit. But she's not sure. She's not sure, but it's a tough decision that she's taken. So let's hope that Julia can make that 5 point somehow, because the battle for the 5 point now is going to be crucial, and Veronique's the favourite. Oops. At least we have the ace point, but we need something big to happen here. We need the ace point hit. Come on, Julia. Tremendous play from Veronique. Really impressive stuff. Now, Veronique should just advance the back checker while Julia's still on the bar. Now, I've got to thank, if I can get this correct, it's all thanks to a lesson I had from Jules Fetterline about how to bear in against the ace point game. I used to get it totally wrong, thinking that you should square off the back end of checkers, square off your back mount. It's absolutely opposite. It's quite a simple process. What you're trying to create is like a humpback of your checkers. So something like 2 on the 6, 3 on the 5, 4 on the 4, 3 on the 3, and however many left on the 2. Like rather the total opposite of squaring off, because I don't understand why. You don't need to. One of the things about backgammon, all you need to do is make the right moves. It helps understanding why, but on things like this, all you need to know is what you should aim for and do it. I actually don't even understand why the hump back is more safe. But whereas I normally play backgammon trying to understand everything that's going on, this is where I don't actually worry about this. All I know is for some reason it's the correct way of distribution, and so I should do it. And again, there's choices there. You've got to the 7 point is hard. I'd actually leave the 1 in 18 shot in order to rather than numbers like 6-5, which will directly, in fact, 6-5, 6-4, 6-3 will all leave shots, not 6-3. And again, Veronique played superbly. She's very impressed with Veronique so far. I know how good Julia is, and she's a really solid, improving player. Veronique is really impressing me with her play. That's it. You must bring one just in case something. At least bringing one out stops you busting too quickly. Right, I think it's going to be too hard to run this off, so we've got to strengthen our board. I'd make the 3-point, Julia, because it's very unlikely we're going to get off this gammon without hitting a shot. So what we want to do is make sure that when we do hit the shot, we've got a powerful board as possible. That's sometimes it's really hard, which is do we try and run it off, or try and hit a shot? This one isn't as tough a decision because it's so unlikely that we can run this one off. So we just have to make our board as quickly as possible. Says Julia, proving me wrong. Come on now, do run it off, please. Even though I said it was impossible. Come on. Play it simple, but now obviously it's changed. So you go, because you now do have a strong chance of running this one off. I'm already ready to be sacked as commentator, saying that Julia had no chance of running this off, and she has got a chance. Oh, but now she has a tough choice. I think I think now she has got to change my original plan and stick with her own plan of running it. Yes, she has done. And so she's proved me wrong with doing the double twos. Okay. Come on. Yeah. Yes. Well, like I say, I'd sack the commentator. He thought Julia had no chance of running that off, but she did. Well done, Julia. Okay. Again, impressive play from both. The commentator is very biased in the lovely Julia's favour, but he's trying to be as neutral as possible, and he's certainly the commentator is certainly impressed with Veronique's play. Very impressive. Both players showing a complete understanding of the importance of battling for the strategic points, not giving your opponent free rein to just do what they want, take them off guard a bit by hitting. And now a tough one. Oh, so many choices. That's what probably what I did, but whether it's I would have done, but that's did a bit of everything. But she's bought herself some time, but unfortunately didn't at the expense of not making a concrete long-lasting point. Right, with having the 2 points in her opponent's board, Julia can play completely pure here, so she doesn't have to worry about any risk. She doesn't have to worry now about having any checkers sent back. So she should just slot the points that are the most important to her. So slotting the 5 point is correct, because there's no risk, because being hit back is not a bad isn't a particular painful experience. Okay, so now she's got she'll have 5 checkers in her opponent's board, so we'll be able to play totally pure from here on in. Again, carrying the same principle, slotting the points you want to make while you've got very little risk. And Veronique has the difficult job of trying to bring this in safely. And again, so in the meantime, the plans are for white, Veronique, just to bring her checkers round, and black to have built as strong a board as possible for when they have goal come round, and ideally keep us a 1-4 back game to make it hard for white to win. So there's not much going on in this game for a few rolls. No, that's not the right idea, I'm afraid. Okay, so now let's convert this into a 2-4 back game, and then we can do what we want for a while. Let's go back. It's solid, that, but there's just a danger of us not ever be able to make the 2-4 or 3-4 back game. So we've got to be a bit careful. Let's secure as black, let's secure our back game before we do anything else. And because we've got that 2-4 well-timed 2-4 or 3-4 back game. 3-4 back game is my favorite back game of all, because timing is very easy. You're very unlikely to lose your timing. It's still very difficult to get past, and there's one additional benefit: you often can run gammons off against it when it all goes wrong. So in my mind, it's the perfect back game, the 3-4 back game. Whether that's the thoughts of experts or not is a different question. Right now, this is where we have to secure the 2-4 back game and just play how we want thereafter. But we've not got to be letting this 2-4 back game go for almost anything. It just gives us total freedom as black. Unless she wants to choose to take my advice of transferring to the 3-4 back game, but what she's doing is probably too much to resist. So I have no problem with that. It's only me. I think I'm the only player that loves the 3-4 back game so much. We'd be interested if any experts are hearing this commentary, if they agree with me about the beauty and strength of a 3-4 back game. That's not a problem for black at all. In fact, if it's good, the more time black has now, the better. So black is hoping that white rolls high and black rolls wrong, and white is obviously thinking exactly the opposite. Julia's got it now. She knows to maintain this 1-2, this 1-2 back game at any cost. Oh, a bit too big. Fortunately, none of those. She's not got an option of moving in the back checkers, so she just slots the 2 next points she wants to make, and any 4 will be fine. For making it quick, for doing things quickly, I'd have slotted 2 to make the game. Now this is where it starts getting tough for white, but it's also a bit tough for black to decide when to hit. So well done, Julia. The good news is for Julia that she's got takes for a long time here, with such as long as she doesn't break. So absolutely now she comes out. Well played. Well played. Because because the point is that even if white rolls a 1, Veronique doesn't particularly want to hit anyway. And of course, the 4 point that black's made isn't important either. Some great play by Veronique. I've never heard of it before. I don't know who I'm actually commenting. I just saw her name was Veronique, and I've been extremely impressed. Now, Julia, don't worry. You've got so much time, and you don't need to worry about maintaining that 21 point. It's because the 1-2 back game, as long no. The 1-2 back game, as long as it's held for a while, is very powerful. Now, what Julia's done now is put all her eggs in the basket of hitting the 15 point when it's cleared. So yeah, she's better. That's it. That's much more my choice, because she's got. I believe she's got a long enough time, unless white actually throws incredibly luckily and makes that 4 point. I'll be interested myself. I'm looking forward to seeing the analysis of this position myself, because I've got a lot to learn. If I'm like, my natural inclination would have been to keep the 1-2 back game, so it'll be intriguing if I'm not right. So Julia's eggs are almost all in the basket of hitting this last remaining point that Veronique is trying to clear. I still think she's got an easy take, because that point is going to be very difficult to clear. There's only 4-4, 4-5, 5-4 that doesn't leave a direct shot. I think this is a quite simple take, especially trailing 1-3. Oh, well, who knows? Now, this is, yes, well played, Julia. The only option to make the advanced anchor. Just because it's not, it can still act, even the 9 point can act as an advanced anchor. Some people don't realize this. It's really hard to convince yourself to slot either the bar or the 5 point when it's a direct shot and your opponent's got a 3 point board. But that looks so ugly. But I think she's got to force herself to play pure and play a D, or else this can go quite a horrible position for a long time. And there are only 11 shots that hit for white. Well played, Julia. Right, we need a point. We want to make that 5 point after now. And she's made it very securely. This could well be the time for Veronique to go while she's got a 4 point board against a 3 point board and a significant race lead. But it will be a ferocious attack she'd have to resist. And she's obviously decided discretion is the better part of valor. Well played, simply strengthening your board. The time to go in these difficult decisions is when your board is stronger than your opponent's, or likely to stay stronger or not get weaker at least. That's the time you've got to bite the bullet and leave off these what I was describing as difficult decisions about when to leave an anchor in mutual holding games with a race lead. And my technique is to strengthen my board as much as I possibly can and then go. It's too deep, that. Oh, but rewarded for which the problem with doubling now is this race lead for Veronique is quite big, more than quite big, very big. No, whatever she does, she has to make the 2 point. I think that's probably my choice. Oh, no problem. I think we can afford the point. Now, this is going to be quite a tough pass take decision because we've got so many shots. I'm doubling this one because we've got so many shots. But it's still a take for white. This looks scarier than it is, and sometimes, even if it's not technically a double, it's worth putting the double over to put pressure on your opponent. But perhaps the take is so easy because of white's anchor. What's happened here? Okay, so now it's a definite double. And it's a tough take. So well played, Julia. That's much more technically accurate than my speculative, hopefully scary double. So Julia's trailing. So there's just no thought apart from to play a really aggressive player like this, which she's done and again done well. And Veronique has now just got to button up. She must play 24 to 22 like she's done, and that's the only sensible six. I think she must have take the 22-point anchor while she's got a chance. And Julia's done it again. She's now got a very powerful double and a very difficult take. I think it's a drop. Because of the 3-point board, 3 behind, I think this is a definite drop. Well, if I was right, Veronica agrees with me. She's again showing what a great player she is. Well played, Julia. Making points and being aggressive rather than playing the simple 24-20 with 2, which is safe, but it's got no, it's not as aggressive. And play back. You've got to play backgammon as if you expect, as if you're trying to win, but occasionally you get a bad. Somebody described it as think of yourself as a fox in in the hen's cage, that you go in there and wreak havoc, and occasionally you get indigestion. But don't think it. But think of yourself that way. Think of yourself as the aggressor and playing to win rather than playing safe. The nature of the game is you will get indigestion a few times and luck turns against you. But more often, if you play to win, you'll be successful rather than just sitting back and wait and see what happens. Quite simple play there. That's all you need to do. There's no just strengthen your forward position. There's not enough checkers in the zone to have hit loose there. So Julie just should be thinking of just escaping one of her back, semi-escaping one of her 2 back checkers. And she's got the right idea. Excellent play. But Veronique, of course, is not going to let her get away with that. And after hitting, she should. Yes, that's better. Hit and split. You've heard that saying, and that's what it means. Well, your opponent's on the bar. Try your best to escape. And now Julia will be hitting back. And what happens in the next few rolls could have a big. Next couple of rolls have a massive say on the outcome of this game. Who wins the battle? Oh, that is early. That's a very easy take for Julia. Please don't drop this one. You've got an anchor. It's much too early, that one. The only way this is a double is if you actually hit the 1 on the 3. Never mind anything else. Well played, Julia. Unfortunately, she did hit the 1 on the 3. But even so, Julia's got a take. Whereas it would have been, she would have been leading in my opinion. My choice would be to play from the advanced anchor, but I can. There's a lot of choices. It's not quite a good enough prime. Right, now Julia's trailing 4-3, so can be reasonably aggressive with the recube. Because if she loses this, she's losing 6-3 anyway. And she's already favourite. She's got the slightly better position. 6 is still too early to recube, but she's got to be really thinking of one soon. Don't be scared of putting the game on the line. You've got to you don't wait till you've actually won. You've got to put the go for the win and get that cube higher, especially because it's not that far to 9 points when you're at 3. Okay, well played. So now, unless Veronique makes the 5 point, she's thrown a great double 5. But even that might not be good enough to hold off the cube. It probably is. No, it's enough. Oh, well played, Julia. Oh, she's got so many choices. So when you've got so many choices, you're holding the cube, you often look at what play can I make that there are no rolls for white to hang on to this cube. And even now white has got to, but now white has got pointing numbers as well. If I could, that's good enough. So we've got a double and drop for Julia, by the way she played it. The 2A, this is absolute, even though she's behind. No. Sorry, Julia. That would have been a really tough take to 4. It still is. You've just got to go for it, Julia. You've not to wait till you've won. You've got to make it tough, and you are trailing 4-3. You can risk going for this. Would you like to receive the cube as white? And the answer is no. She's not got an anchor. She's got 2 checkers behind. Oh, well played, Julia. Well played. I think this is a pass at this score, and it'd been a recube. But we'll find out soon. If she takes, well played, Julia. That was perhaps the only criticism I've had of Veronique. That cube was too early. That she didn't have much of an advantage at all when she doubled, and paid the price with Julia's strong recube. But I feel when she's played so spectacularly well, slightly mean saying that. You know, she's played great backgammon. Veronique showing a real understanding of the checker play, especially. Well, one of the quite unusual things from Needs 4, Needs 5 is the cube action is surprisingly similar for both players, because one is slightly further away from the goal, but the other one is even numbers away from the goal, and so those two things counterbalance and mean that the cube action is quite similar to 0-0. In fact, it's almost identical to 0-0. As you are probably aware, when you're trailing in a match, now Julia's got a very powerful position and should double. It's very scary now. If she's four away, a gammon will win the match. Well played, Julia. This is where I think Julia's improved so much over the last couple of years. And I think it's down to a BMAB experience and the constant penalties she got when she first started. And I've seen her PR coming down and down over the years. And this is the main reason. Once upon a time, she'd have waited and waited until she got a certain win. But this is a really scary. And Julia gets the reward. Well played, Julia. All right, so now. A tough decision. When you've made the ace, when you've put one checker on the ace point, it's usually right to make it as quickly as possible. Now it's a scary. If Veronique doubles, it's scary, but you've just got to, and it can go wrong quickly. But Julia's got too many advantages. White's got the too many good things about her position to drop this one. Well played, but it can. I know this is.
Okay.
It was the right decision. That's all you can do, Julia. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. And there's still not that. That's it, right. Oh, now a tough, great roll, whichever she plays. But it's so good. I actually, just have a look, Julie, she should be able to look at how powerful the 9 point is as a priming number. That is really strong. And especially when White has made their ace. Oh, she's done the right move again. She's wonderful. Good old good, Julia Hammer supporter, as you know. Well done, Julia. So even though Julia holds the cube, it's not really that valuable to her because there's so few recubes. And when you're basically winning 2-0 to 5, holding the cube. But you've got to keep it in your head. You've got to keep in your mind that you hold the cube. And certainly in some racing positions, you'll still have a double. But it's so there's so few drops. This is a dilemma about when we didn't make the 21, but I said you should make the 9 point instead of the 21 point, and this is the bad side to it because you've got the difficult decision of when you leave that 21 point. And now I think the way to do it is by rolling the 2, and then the decision is made for you. And slot the. Oh no! True. You've given Veronique the chance to play a bit more free now because she's not scared of your board by playing the 5-1. As Julia's, I think it's now gone so wrong. I think she should give this one up now and not get gammoned and play from 6-all. So just playing the 9-5, 9-8. And there's a few lucky wins with races. And now some hits and covers as well. So there's a few lucky wins, but fundamentally where Julia went wrong was when she played 5-1 about 2 or 3 moves ago. It just, her position became not scary at all for Veronique and enabled her to play freely. So excluding really lucky sequences, White should get a single point here. But you know, it's better than a normal 2-point game because of White already having made the 1 point. Well played, Veronique. No, it's too big a shout to Julia. Now has just got to look for the big 6-6 or something like that and accept the 1 point loss apart from a massive throw just at the right time, or a few other sequences. But what I'm saying is she shouldn't be trying to actively I normally advocate actively trying to create things. This is one where you just sit back and hope for that the dice will help you out, and in the meantime just play to make sure you don't get gammoned and hope for, and you never know if luck might take its place, but your main aim is to not get gammoned. She's done that and done that well. Okay, so that's 6-all. I think that's probably a fair reflection of the score. 2 excellent players playing at the top of the form. And as I said in the opening remarks, it's 5-all up to 8 with 5 matches being played at the moment. So this is really important. And this is close. It's obviously an extremely close match between the two teams, and this is showing why. That's it. Let's only play with one block, and that's great play again, where Julia, well played. Right, is it too late for white to now split? I think, yes, I think it is. I think black's very strong, and that's very, I think it's a bit late to split now. Veronique's winning slightly in this game because of the 6-5-4 points are stronger than the 6-4-3, but it's not set in stone and absolutely nowhere near a double. But it does mean that Veronique doesn't need to do anything desperate just yet. I'd just play 13-5 and slowly build up take as little few risks as possible. Well, not as possible, still. Yeah, you've got options now of making the 7 and 3 and 2 point. Oh. The problem with the coming out play is 4 has put you from a leading position, put you as the underdog. Well played, Julia. Oh, now this is interesting. If white just runs, yeah. So if black doesn't roll a 4, I think we're right. And bring the back checker forward to try and race Julia. If you bring the back checker forward, now you've only got 6s to get out instead of 4s and 6s. So you're better bringing the back checker up. So how much do I know? You've just got pointed on. Just don't take my advice. And it'd have been a stronger point than the ace point.
Very well done.
It's now a powerful double. Maybe it's even close to too good to double. This is a simple drop because you're so far behind in the race. No checkers back, so well played. And you drop more at needs three than you do normally. So that was the correct decision from Julia. Well played. And now it's 7-6 for Veronique. So it's turned. So we have it's a lot easier though to play. It's a lot easier, especially Q play from 3 away versus 2 away than 2 away, 3 away. So at least Julia's got that going for her. Okay, so Veronique's going to go all out for an attack, and it could be very. We need a 4 or a 5 here, Julia. Well played. Now we just bring another one down. Oof. Well, since we can't save to it, might as well slot the most valuable point. And Julia gets the reward of playing a nice play. That's good. Oh dear, that's that game over. So it looks like it's going to be 9-6. Now, when you're a good player, she knew, Veronique knew, and so did Julia. So well played. So it's now 8-6 to Veronique, and Julia needs to win the next 2 games, or else it's all over. So standard play again. Julia will battle for that 4 point. Well played. And Veronique just now tries to turn it into a race. But it's not going to happen because Julia must hit. Or must she? Will Snelling is one of the best players of all time, absolutely, and still a superstar, was advising me the other day that if he saw any weakness in my game is that I hit too much. So perhaps this is another example where I said the hit's clear. You know, the 4 point is strong as well. So again, it's another one that I'll look at after the event. Because I hit naturally, and maybe I'm over hitting like he suggests. Oh, right. Great roll. As I said before, you so often in these positions, once you've made the few different options here, probably not much between most of them. I see Julia playing to win rather than sitting back. Great play. I can't see anything better than making a 4 point board. It's quite nice because it makes it a lot harder for Veronique to escape those back checkers having the 8 point. So she should be quite happy with that roll. Now, Julia as black really needs to, it's an important battle. No, this is the wrong idea. Veronique should be making the 3 point because then we're if she knew the dice, she made the right choice. But now Julia's having made the 3-point, it makes the ace point, it makes the 3-point also a good anchor as well as the 5-point. Well, Veronique's going for the kill, but fortunately Julia managed to. So Veronique is like all in now, trying to blitz. She's almost completely committed to it, and so she might as well carry on. It's strange after her last blitz play. Why would she stop now?
Looks very low.
You know, Veronique doesn't need to worry about getting gammoned. And now it's definitely a blitz play, 4.5-point board. It's not far from certain to come off because she's not got enough checkers of the zone. But again, now she can. No, you can play. That's it. She can play. The 5-point battle is the most important one now. She might even slot it. No. Oh, that's good as well. Better than I saw. Yeah, making the 8-point, which is a really useful blocking number against the 2-point. Or she. Oops. I've been incredibly impressed by Veronique's understanding of backgammon. Knowing when to take risks without easily and comfortably, not having to think about it. She just understands that there's some situations where there is no risk almost. Oops. So how many have we got left? There's a couple that are forced. I think, yeah, I like that because it clears a point that's going to have to be an awkward one afterwards. So not quite as bad as it first appeared. No. No, there's 3-2. There's no need to take that.
6, 4, 6.
There's no need to leave so many shots. It's 3-2 might look ugly, but it's the worst that's going to happen is you leave a shot next time. That's my choice, Julia. There's so many shots, but this commentator must be one of the weakest, making the most wrong suggestions possible. So again, we just clear to clear the 7-point. No, well, why not straight away? Why not quickly? That's it. Why not quickly? It's going to be tough to clear anyway at some point. Good play by Veronique. Oh, a jackpot, as they say.
What's the most of 2 is there?
I think Veronica can afford to be really aggressive and slot the 5 point here, because there's no chance of winning without having made the 5 points. So, well, no, there's no such thing as no chance in backgammon. But the best way to win is to close Julia out, and so you're going to have to better just do it quickly. I don't, while you still have a back game to fall back on. So I would be slotting the 5 here. No. You can't win like that. And that feels a bit too far forward. I'd just swing one round. Leave them spread out as best you possibly can. Right, so what you think of doing? Now you can't afford to be black to have the hearse, but I'd play. At least this has the benefit of spreading checkers out. If she played one or two of the threes from the 6 point to get rid of some, it's not the end of the world. So that's my play. No. Oh yeah, that's okay. But I would actually played. I'd have played from the 6 point, just to have a tiny bit more diversity.
Fuck.
Oh, great roll, Julia. No, you got your 5 points. Don't forget that. I say well played. Veronica only has 1 minute left. It could become an issue in a double DMP match. It's excellent. I wish I knew the scores in the other matches, because with this lasting so long, this could even be close to this deciding match. This is getting really exciting. Now she wants to bring a checker onto the 7 point to have an additional builder for the 2 point. There's no point running this off because it's not significant anyway. Okay, so we've got DMP 7-8 Pros Crawford, so it's going to be in effect a double match point game, although it's slight advantage, a tiny advantage to Veronica that she's got a drop if she wishes, an easy drop if now she rolls badly. You see, if it was great for Veronica then, because if she had a great roll, she would take easily. If she had a bad roll, she can drop. Even though that's it, well played, both again. And this is all good luck, both ladies. It's been a tremendous match, and as I've said, made clear, I'm not a neutral in this. I'm rooting strongly for the lovely Julia, but Veronica has been incredibly impressive in her play, and it will, and if she does win, it will be deserved. But it will be unlucky for Julia, who's played great, and I'm supporting Julia wholeheartedly. Come on, Julia, you can do it. Oops. Oh.
Yikes.
Significant edge now for after that little combination of events. I still think you just try and advance your back checker. There's nothing better. And it's missed, so it's just too loose, unfortunately, to make the 5. It's very strong, but it's still, even, however good making that 5 prime is, it means you Julie has some initiative there, but is unable to take advantage of it. I would make points and leave no blocks, leave no indirect shots, because they naturally all work as builders without having to force them. So Veronique will just make that point, and then either one is fine. Right, so now, of course, Julia hits, and there's a chance that even the 5 point will break. Veronique is strongest with the 5 prime, but there's only one check. Don't forget, there's only one checker behind it. No. Yes. There's only one checker, so I would say it's quite close, with a slight edge for Veronique. Nothing a good 3-6 wouldn't put right. We can't just sit back, so I think we hit and make. Yes, I think so, even though it does leave a lot of shots. We have got another way of winning, which is to make an advanced anchor. Okay, definitely. It's definitely swung in Veronique's favour now. 4 checkers behind a 5 prime is, and this is when I wasn't sure whether Veronique should make a 5 prime. It's looking very much like I was wrong. She's made that 5 prime and won the, and is very strong and almost won the game with that that pure decision. Very impressive for Veronique. And that's a 6 prime. I haven't seen what, there's no doubt she'll be taking that. Oops. Oh dear. Excellent play by Veronique. We're now reduced to hoping for miracles. Incredible technique from Veronique. Complete understanding of how to make your checkers work together. I've been amazed by the checker play quality of Veronique. I don't know what level she plays, but it looks low to me. I'm low in terms of PR, I mean. Okay, so we've got a shot now, Julie. It's now or never. Oh. I hope I was wrong when I said never, but we'll see.
Never double six wins.
I think it's double six time or double five time now. Not that side. Well, you've got to go. Well, I think that's all over, sadly. But when I say sadly, it's only because I'm a biased Julia supporter. It's been top quality play from Veronique. Checker play wise, I'm just totally impressed by her understanding and feel for the things. Let us off with one bad, in my opinion, I could be wrong, with one bad early double that she got punished for. But fortunately for her, it was only 2 points. But the checker play standard was absolutely wonderful. Congratulations, Veronique, and hard luck, Julia. You've really impressed me backgammon-wise. Veronique, thank you. Unlucky, Julia. Well played. Good effort. What the well, I'm sure that those PRs are down to cube rather than checker play.
Bad luck, Julia.
Because otherwise it's been excellent. Well, now we have to find out the result of the other matches. Anybody got any information for me, please?
Can you hear me, Tim?
I can now. Have you got any information for?
Yeah, I think I texted you. That was the decider.
Oh no! Well, thank goodness. I would have been too nervous anyway.
All right. I think, yeah, I lost very quickly to Laurence, who played exceptionally well.
Yeah.
She paid 3 point something.
Right.
Rachel, I didn't know about at the time, but Anna Price tells me she won, I think.
Right.
So lost. But then Dorothy and Cecilia both won.
Oh, and that was a decider. Well, what Veronique really impressed me. I'm surprised she played at 8. I presume.
Lost. But then Dorothy and Cecilia both won.
8-7, an absolutely close match and a great match, and I hope you have a rematch because both teams have deserved it. Anyway, more as well. As well as being interested in that, I'm interested if John is going to qualify for our team against. He's done it.
He beat Adam Sinclair from Bristol.
Great player, Adam. Great player,
won
Adam.
The match and the PR. So
great player, Adam. But people are in no doubt about where I put John in the. But the number one in the UK. I'm not sure whether I completely agree with that particular.
Yeah, nearly 6 months now. John's petitioning Boris for continuation of lockdown.
Exactly. It certainly should be in any UK team, that's for sure. Okay, then. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks. Great commentary, though. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Anna. Thank you. See you all.
Bye.
Yeah.